Joining us now, Turning Point USA spokesman, executive producer of The Charlie Kirk Show, and a close friend of the Kirk family, Andrew Kolvet. Andrew, thank you so much for being with us this afternoon. I'm sure this week was particularly difficult for you, being so close to Charlie Kirk and, of course, to his family. Before we get started, just want to ask, when was the last time you've spoken to Erica? How's everyone doing?
Yeah, I mean, I've stayed in contact with the larger team there in Utah pretty closely throughout the week, and I was aware of this filing that just happened, and it's referencing, by the way, this a Utah code where the victim and their family is, entitled to a speedy disposition, and that the defense cannot unduly hold that up. We want a fair trial. The defense certainly has their rights here, but at the same time, I've seen other people make the comment that normally pleas come within 24 to 48 hours in this country of being arraigned. So it's just kind of a head scratcher here that we are approaching the 1-year mark, and we're being, forced to sit through a 5-day preliminary hearing where even the prosecution this morning was saying the evidence is overwhelming. The evidence is devastating, I think was the word that they chose there. And I agree. I think a lot of people that have seen this and seen the evidence dispassionately believe that there's a lot here that should warrant a full trial. I don't know what we're waiting for September 1st for. And so when you ask me how does it feel personally, it's bittersweet. Obviously, I'm so grateful that the world gets to see this mountain of evidence. But I hate how long it takes. I think this is a huge problem, especially in the era of social media, that it takes this long to get information like this out to the public, this evidence out to the public. I wish the justice system moved at the speed of social media, but to the extent that we can shrink the gap, I am very much in favor of that, and I'm open to solutions there.
And Andrew, I've also noticed that on your social media, specifically X, that you have been live streaming this entire thing, and I sense that you're trying to get that transparency that you're talking about, so everyone knows exactly what is happening, despite maybe some of the conspiracy theories that have been tossed around. Yeah. And somebody I want to bring up right now that you put a tweet out at, that is Candace Owens. You wrote this: Candace, you and Charlie were not friends. He managed you. He kept things light and polite so you wouldn't turn on the org. You were not his friend. You are not his defender. You were his tormentor. And now you torment his wife and the organization he built. Candace, you are a fraud. Talk about why you felt the need to post that.
Well, I don't need to. I feel like I said enough there, and if I need to say more, I will. I think in general, though, it goes back to the fact that we need rational minds to be loud right now. We need people that are based in facts and evidence to be loud right now. There's been a lot of people that have co-opted and appropriated this terrible tragedy, whatever their motives would be. And that's why, I started this interview out with you guys saying we want speed and transparency to the extent that that's possible, while protecting the suspect's rights. And I think that's the reason, because sunlight is the best disinfectant. Letting the world see what really happened that terrible day is going to do a lot to nip some of this stuff in the bud before it could run rampant on social media. And we're worried about the jury. We're worried about protecting the potential jury pool. We're worried about those types of things, and rightly so, especially in the era of social media. I mean, this was the highest profile political assassination since JFK, and it's the first one in the social media era. And so there's a lot that the judge has to contend with. I think Judge Graff has done an admirable job, and I certainly think he could go quicker, though. And so that's what the family's representative is putting forward with this motion that they just filed, and hopefully he'll be sympathetic to it.
Information, truth is freedom, is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.